Hey, Willem-Jan.
Hey, Pepijn.
Well, good to see you here. Let's make a dungeon.
Oh, what kind of dungeon do you want to make?
I don't have a lot of time. I think we should make a short dungeon.
A short dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a bit lazy.
I am a bit lazy. Let's make a bit of a lazy short dungeon.
We're gonna make a lazy short dungeon today for as many people as possible to play. And when are they gonna play it?
Well, on Father's Day.
Yeah, we're gonna make a Father's Day dungeon today.
Yes, absolutely. A Father's Day dungeon. That's the spirit.
That is the spirit. We're gonna be doing the entire brainstorm thingy and kind of revealing what it's like to make an adventure. We're both DMs. We've both been DMs for a few years. Should be easy. No problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects that go into a dungeon. You gotta have information about the environment, about the characters, about the items, about the theming all over to make it interesting for the players to engulf in your world and try to discover your world.
Find as many lines between those aspects as possible to
indeed
make it a nice whole. What's your image when we talk about father?
Well, most of the role of the father in a traditional family, he's a care provider. He
breadwinner.
Yeah. It differs from family to family, but there are still so many families where the man is hard to show his feelings, but he's a silent provider for the whole crew. And he's too proud to show things.
Emotions.
Yeah, tougher on himself than others. Not eager to show and a bit protective, I'd say. In a more hidden way, I guess, than the mother.
Silently suffering.
And also the people who are very good at clearing their mind and just having
manual labor.
Yeah, manual labor is very good for clearing your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Men love it if they do not think.
It's not woman manual labor.
We need like a bit of a story, a bit of a setting.
Yeah. So we have okay.
What do fathers want? They want their family to be safe and maybe protect them, provide for them. So maybe their family is in danger.
Well, if you manifest the emotions into a physical challenge or obstacle, then you can make it more pronounced that he is literally running from his emotions, a kind of an inside-out scenario.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
And in order to save his family,
he has to open up.
He has to let the emotions in, or whatever the emotions want.
So what's the situation in where a man cannot show his emotions properly because it might be dangerous, or he might feel that it's dangerous?
Typically, in front of another man.
Even in front of their family, though.
Oh, in front of their children, especially.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, what we're kind of looking for is what's the situation in where a dad feels beautiful, where it actually touches us. Stuff like in La Vita Belle, where at the end the dad who provided for his son the whole war sacrificed himself, and another. For anyone who hasn't seen La Vita Belle, sorry for absolutely spoiling the hell out of that movie for you.
I'm thinking about other movies as well, because movies where manly men cry. Gladiator, when he finds his wife and son. In Lord of the Rings, Aragorn specifically, is a crier, or at least one who shows his emotions. But maybe then we already have.
Yeah, it's mostly because he breaks his toe, but.
Did he? Well, I never heard about that factoid before. But he is already a very, very emotional man.
Yeah,
very attuned with his emotions anyway.
Another classic examples of a father being important in stories like The Lion King, where Mufasa protects his son.
But you never see him cry either.
You never see him cry, but he does tell.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually a point.
He was scared, not for himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Because a man's not scared for himself. No. He's scared that something will happen to his family.
Oh, and that's the scenario we're writing down anyway.
So we're gonna have to kill a family to make him and cry.
I was about to think that
I mean, it's
very cruel.
no, it's refreshing. Normally,
Okay.
normally you kill the parents to have some sort of an importance in the story, but
We can also kill the children.
you
Yeah.
can kill the children, absolutely.
That's,
I mean, it's the reverse Disney.
yeah. That's true.
So
Family is in danger.
yeah, let's talk more about the family that is in danger.
Yeah.
Are we going like Red Dead Redemption on this one?
I haven't played that one.
The original, not the Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, I haven't.
The original Red Dead Redemption 1, spoiler alert, about a guy who was in a gang and then his wife and kids got taken by the government, and the government's like, well, you're going to help us to
Do bad things.
kill your old gang.
Okay.
You're going to kill all your former gang members, and if you do, we'll let your wife and kid go.
Hostage situation.
Absolutely. And he's forced to do all these things to protect his family. It's more interesting if it's not like, well, they're killed, but if they're hostage, they are better leverage.
So the general mission in my head right now is saving your hostage taken family.
Yeah.
By conquering your emotions or accepting your emotions, maybe.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because those are the two things we talked about that I think are interesting gameplay wise.
Mm-hmm. There could be some sort of a mind control where the only way how he can break out is, well, shut someone out of his mind, and that is to have such strong emotions that he will push out the mind control.
So, okay, explain that one again.
Someone is mind controlling our protagonists.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe multiple protagonists. That they're on a holiday, they're in a little cabin in the woods. Have you seen that movie yet?
No.
Mm.
I watched a lot of movies.
Yeah,
apparently, very different ones from you.
Absolutely. And at some point, they try to take over the guy with some sort of a mind control. And at that point, you start walking towards your wife and your kid with a knife, and just try to go stabby stabby.
Okay.
And the only way to stop it is to fight the mind control. And then you can go in some sort of into your own minds and try to get into your own memories and try to relive things to snap yourself out of the mind control.
I do like the concept. I like the concept of triggering or maybe battling memories.
Yeah.
Solving memories in order to save your family.
Yeah.
Which is,
it could be memories that you've tried to hide yourself, a bit like, and that's another spoiler right there, Shutter Island.
I have seen that one.
For example, if they are in such a cabin in the woods that they used to go there as children as well. And in that time, as children, they had all sorts of fun and they had all sorts of innocence where they used to play around. And at some point, their own fathers tried to kill them as well, and they failed. So they can try to, if they relive those moments, and if they try to get back to their past, they can discover in the past, in their minds, what happened. And
you're making a multi-layered story right now.
Yeah.
I really like the story. I think it's too big though.
Let's make it a bit easier then. It's about dads still.
Yeah.
But you're not the dad yourself.
No, I think that's the right choice, because if you want people to play it and let them have their own character, you don't want them to force them to have a family.
Yeah.
So I like your idea of, okay, this dad or these dads are a problem for their own family.
Yeah.
Because they've been mind controlled or whatever, and in order to save the fathers, you have to get into the memories.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking now is that you have 4 families,
Yeah.
4 fathers, each
Yeah.
with their own kind of emotional blockade to fight, each their emotion to conquer in order to snap out of the mind control.
Yeah, and you have to snap all 4 out to
Or
succeed.
at least 3 or something, like you for complete success all 4, but
Yeah.
you might have that also gives you the ability to have different levels of success.
Yeah.
So we have zombie-like fathers encroaching onto their family in some kind of building. I don't think that building necessarily matters.
I do like the idea of the cabin because that can have memory things for the fathers that they always went there as children and now they're taking their families there. You can have a lake, you can have old cabin. There's all sorts of interesting environments we can use there.
You can like try to recreate their memories.
Oh yes, you can go fishing to recreate some memories. You can go chop some wood. There's all sorts of
Fatherly things. Okay.
fatherly things.
Fishing.
Fishing,
I'm going
chopping
to
wood, barbecuing.
know you're vegetarian.
I
I'm a
know you're a vegetarian.
A fish.
God, what a bunch of soy boys drinking beer.
Drinking beer, drinking. We can.
Do we want the mothers to be there? I don't think so. Actually, I think
So
it's
just the children.
just children and the fathers.
Everything you would want. Okay.
Everything you would need as a man, a manly man.
So we have to clarify, I think, for all the 5 listeners that we are not manly men.
We are not manly man at all.
I never fished.
No,
Don't necessarily like barbecuing.
No.
I've never chopped wood. I've never
I have
hunted.
chopped wood.
We do drink beer.
I hardly drink beer.
Well, I hardly drink beer, but we do drink beer.
We do drink beer every now and then.
I never do anything with my hands except draw and type.
I play the piano.
That's true. It's not necessarily handiwork though.
No, it's not.
Making music isn't manly, man.
No, no, indeed. I do not feel the hair on my breast.
It's not guitar.
sprout. I have a guitar.
But do you play guitar?
I do not.
Well, then you are not a manly man.
I am not a manly man.
So we don't actually have a lot of experience with this
Manlying up.
having to.
It's a very manly scenario.
How do players enter this adventure? Like,
well, they go with their dads to.
They are the children.
They are the children.
So at that point, something mind controls them.
Yeah, it could be like an evil spirit in the lake. It could be in the trees because they chop wood there.
Disturbing the nature.
No, I got a better idea than that.
No,
it's a wood spirit that's envious.
Oh, because he wants family.
He wants a dad as well. Look at those dads. That looks fucking good.
A dad.
So we have environment like the cabin.
Yeah. And
what kind of rooms are in the cabin?
I don't
or around.
like the cabin can be simple because we also have the lake.
We have the lake.
The woods.
Yeah, we could
like
have
like a campfire.
There can be like a little dock where you do your fishing.
Yeah, a pier.
There could be like a little rowboat, even.
Yeah, rowboat. So we already have quite a few locations. The main thing right now is connecting the solution or presenting the solution to the players. How do we combine those two? Because if you're a kid and your father suddenly starts murdering you or attempting to murder you, you can run away. But how do you realize that you need to evoke some emotion or evoke some memory from him?
You could let the wood spirit talk through their dads.
What could a wood spirit say in order for you to try to evoke manly things?
Hi, I am a wood spirit. Would you like your dad to have manly feelings again? Press 9.
It's such an easy adventure.
This is an easy adventure. I mean,
You're so kind to your player.
I am.
It's a very metaphysical solution, which I like. But it's difficult to communicate it
How do you
properly.
explain it? I mean, as soon as they start fighting, you can be like, well, they're grown man.
Yeah, you cannot win a physical fight with
You're
you
not
need.
grown man.
Yeah, exactly. You need that. That's a nice additional thing. You need your father to actually beat the wood spirit because you're children.
I mean, you couldn't get out of the woods even if you wanted to. You can let the dads come up to them and stop for a moment. And you can see a little tear in their eye.
Yeah,
And that moment they'll be like, run, before they grab the knife again. And you'll be like, oh god.
like flashes of their dad, or entirely like their body is possessed, but their mind, like your dad's running at you and saying, "Run, son!" And he starts grabbing all pots and pans and trying to smash you over the head with it, and you run away. You might have an outlet for information.
You can have a location somewhere where you guys hide, where the dads can come. And in that spot, you can give them some lore that men don't cry, and that's what makes them so easy to charm for woodland spirits. If you suppress your emotion, you're easier to charm for the woodland spirit. How do you drop that piece of lore on
Literally a book.
You can carve out hints in the trees.
Another one that might be a little more natural is that you feel something trying to grab a hold of you, and at the moment you feel the fear of that happening, it fades away. So,
ooh, yes, I like that.
Something tries to grab
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
How do you feel about that? And if it's a strong emotion,
Yeah.
then okay, with that emotion, the feeling
Yeah.
happens.
How do you make the man feel? You make the man feel by letting him do manly things like barbecuing, like chopping wood. That's the final solution.
In that case, I think it's nice to make very obvious dads. So it's one of the dads is obviously a fisher.
Yeah.
One of the dads is obviously. Let's make 4 dads.
We have a fisher.
I think a fisher is very obvious.
He can absolutely swim, and maybe he even gets like, so he might be on the lake already and try to swim around and be possessed. When you're on the lake, you're in danger of the fishing dad. Just slings fish at your face.
Attacks are throwing fish. No, it should be the rod. He tries to hook the children.
He tries to hook you in.
Tries to hook the children.
Absolutely.
Hooks
That's beauty. We have the wood chopper.
A powerful build.
Yeah, lumberjack with an axe. Can't go wrong with an axe.
The horror classic.
And
can chop through the cabin.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely can chop through the cabin. He can chop through trees. If you climb up a tree, he will chop it down. I mean, you can be like the fisher dad. You can make him feel by catching an actual fish, make him proud. The lumberjack man, you can make him proud by chopping down a tree or making him a
doing it yourself. So their son has to catch the fish. Their son has to chop down a tree. Is that what you're aiming at?
It could be a solution.
Yeah.
I want to keep it a bit more open for interpretation for the end, but that could definitely be an acceptable solution to make them feel by making them proud.
Yeah.
Because being proud is one of the strongest emotions a dad usually has. Right, we got 2 dads down. Sports dad?
It's a little bit close to the.
No, this guy got a beer belly.
Oh, it's like
he watches sports.
Watching sport. Okay, yeah. I was thinking about the drinking beer dad, but that's the same dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the same dad.
The sports dad in my head is a dad that does sport.
No, he watches. He used to do sports.
Yeah,
he absolutely used to do sports, but he can't anymore because he fucked up his knee. Well, he can drink.
He can drink. I'm not sure if that's an advantage. Some dads should be easier than other dads. Maybe
some dads should be easier. Oh yeah, this guy, after like 3 steps, he's already panting. But he's also very hard to reach.
Because
He's just
very fat. 3 meters of belly is between you and his heart.
He's the kind of guy who has all the different subscriptions for all the different sports.
Is he also the barbecue dad?
You can see that he is a food dad.
Yeah, but that's the belly.
That's the belly.
Then we have like at a certain moment you have to eat, and he has the food. So
he has the food and
that's
he
why
has
he
the knives,
needs-
and those knives are darn sharp because
he
he
sharpens-
holds them himself.
Yeah. He has a whole arsenal of tools that can maim meat, including his own child's meat.
In fact, he has the marinade already standing by for his children.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah. So fourth dad. I mean, we could go cliche and put in like the hunter because
I have a hunter. I have making the campfire, but that's also kind of barbecue dad.
Yeah.
Maybe. The hunter is awesome because it gives us a really ranged option.
Someone who can stalk and someone who can.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna write it down. I like
someone who can track you. If you do not cover up your tracks properly, he will find you. He'll rat you out to the others, and he might lay down some traps even.
Oh, traps. Okay.
So we have.
You are we are numerous children.
Yeah.
Our dads with our dads on a camping trip because
we're forced to, and it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day as usual.
Fathers are doing their own thing. We're doing whatever in the cabin.
Yeah.
And then the tide turns. An evil spirit takes over for the 4 dads, each individually, and they start hunting the children. The fisher, specifically on the lake. Yeah. So whenever you try to go to the lake, he's there. The lumberjack, not necessarily at one place, I think. Especially because he can
usually in the woods, but
the woods and the cabin are both his territory because he can break through the cabin. So that's a nice picture, a nice image to implement into the adventure.
Absolutely.
Sports dad at the campfire.
Yeah, at the campfire, absolutely. Maybe in the cabin every now and then, but mostly campfire.
Yeah, especially during the adventure part. And the hunter, where we don't know. We never know where he is.
No.
The children, well, at a certain point, one of the dads attacks them, I guess. They cannot really win against their dad. No. And the dad can only be pulled from their mind control through emotion, through evoking an emotion.
Yeah.
They know that by either reading that in a book that's somewhere in a cabin.
It could be a cellar.
Especially a cellar that just small children can get into.
Yeah.
It's kind of a safe
like
place.
A small hole where they cannot, the dads cannot follow them properly.
As a DM, you can always give the hint by trying to that they feel like they're getting charmed, but as soon as they react emotionally, the charm moves away.
I like that a lot.
If the DM, that's like the fallback. If they cannot figure it out, you can always
give them a fucking book.
But no. That's what I'm saying is if they don't find the book, try to mind control them because
it's
really
kind of the mind control thing though, because then you will have the players figure them out for themselves, and they'll feel like, whoa, we solved something.
I like it as well, but maybe they don't solve it.
No, it's a rare occurrence. They can even meet the woodland spirits.
Yeah, but
as a spirit form, where he can whine about that he didn't have a dad of his own and now he's going to take them. That he just boasts about how easy their dads were to take over because they numb their emotions so easily.
I like that one.
That's the spirit.
I hope you're happy.
Oh yes, that's a fucking title.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy you are happy with yourself. Somebody should be.
Thank you.
At a certain point, you conquered the dads.
Mm-hmm.
You conquered their emotions.
Yeah.
You turn onto the evil spirit.
Yes.
Like the dads are far more powerful than you. It's fun to give the players control of the dads. You can either try to physically defeat the evil wood spirit with the dads, or another way to solve this whole thing, maybe a second way. I think a lot of players might try to defeat the evil spirit, which should be almost impossible.
Yeah.
But maybe there's one thing that this evil spirit...
You can make him a dad.
How? Explain to me how we're going to make the evil spirit a dad.
No. You're going to make him a dad, like a physical dad.
You from wood?
Yeah.
I like that.
Because
Okay,
he wants.
yes, and it also solves a problem I have because why would they ever go to the lake, which is the fisher's domain?
Yeah.
But if we have like stuff you have to collect to create your own dead, and one of the things is on the lake, whatever it is, seaweed for the hair,
Seaweed.
water kelp. Thank you. So that's the second way. Evil spirit wants a dead.
You can
That's
even
the
have like a
solution.
little statue in the middle of the lake, like the totem of the spirit in the middle of the lake. You can even get that. Can even be made by the original dads.
Yeah, that they are responsible.
There was
When they were children,
when they were children, they used to go to this lake. They could make a killer hut there, but it was like a little weird statue. So they tossed it into the lake.
and now there's the statues on the bottom of the lake.
It can be the origin of the spirit.
You can break the statue. Maybe that's a third way to solve the whole thing.
Oh yeah, but it's up to the DM's discretion. If you restore that statue to its former glory, that could also be a way to soothe the woodland spirit.
Like the main thing that the DM needs to know is the spirit wants a dead.
He wants it.
Whatever players will try to do if they try to search for more
He
clues.
wants that, or make sure no one has a dad.
He wants to be the same as everyone else,
Yeah,
which
indeed
could mean two things.
Égalité. Do we need items?
The fathers have each have a magic item that you can steal.
Absolutely, you can steal it. If you're nifty enough, you'll have the rod, the fishing rod. That's what can you do with that? I mean,
Well, you can like control the movie references again. Guardians of the Galaxy, the arrow that you can.
I haven't seen anyone.
Wow. So you can control mind. You can telekinetically control the hook. Yeah, you control the
hook.
control the bait telekinetically, so you can kind of control the rope as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Tons of stuff creative players can do with a fishing rod.
Okay, the lumberjack, an axe.
Yeah, it's a magical axe.
What does this axe do?
Well, it can chop through a lot of things, but only wooden things.
You're just describing an axe.
Well,
or you can either break the wood or you can chop again and it mends the thing you just broke, or just generally mend wood.
Yeah.
The sports dad.
And food, that sports and food.
Yeah, exactly. I'm mainly thinking about the food right now.
Food is easier than sports. He could have like a pitchfork. He could have a fire starter, a sort of spoon, or a ladle, or a spatula.
What does the spatula do?
It flattens stuff on the barbecue.
I'm so happy you are able to describe what items do.
Yes, it's
What makes a spatula
magical.
Special spatula.
Well, it can flatten anything. You can flatten like a door or like a ball.
You can flatten like a certain size items.
I was thinking like if there's a part in the cabin where you cannot go
Unless you flatten
yourself.
Oh. You will. Oh well.
Yeah,
you are small. Children are small.
You are small.
You cannot flatten the adults, but you can flatten children.
You can flatten yourself. And it's a very tight gap, but you could get through if only you were a bit more flat.
So specifically, spatula flattens child-sized objects or smaller.
Yes, that's also why he's so dangerous. I mean, he's very he has a hard time of catching up.
Why doesn't he flatten his own belly?
Because that's not small.
Okay, that's bigger than a child.
That's a big old bear belly.
Fair enough. The hunter.
The hunter, well,
bow is obvious. I like trapping.
I like trappings more than the bow and arrow.
It can just be a magical kind of trap that just makes a sound if you're in its vicinity or something.
A rope that has a mind of its own and lies on the ground, but just tries to follow you around like a lasso.
Yeah, the following around thing is funny. It doesn't even have to be a rope. It's like a glowing stone that, like your sim, hovers above your head.
Yeah.
And makes you an easy target for this hunter. It can also be used to track whatever shit if you have the stone yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Or it would be like a little explosion, and after that, like fairy fire, you you're glowing, or maybe
Yeah.
you're buzzing.
I like that one. Like it's a kind of landmine-ish.
Yeah.
Maybe just call it a glitter landmine.
In fact, you should never see the hunter dad.
You know he always sees you.
You know he's there because every now and then you hear a little whistle, and you know he's in.
The
You know
vicinity.
he's around. You see his traps if you look closely enough, but you'll never see him. He's quite obvious. That's why I like that hunter guy.
Okay. Well, that was a lazy short dungeon. Pepijn, thank you for being here. The link for this dungeon, you can find it on whatever platform you're listening to in the description.
We'd love to hear what you guys make of it.
Please tell us about if your dad killed you or not. That would be great.
That would be great.
Bye.